So in this video we already discussed about the carbon cycle of the ecosystem. So in this video we are going to discuss about the phosphorus cycle, and in addition to that we will also discuss about the ecosystem services. That is a general topic. We will discuss about the ecosystem services. So first it is ecosystem phosphorus cycle. So when we discuss about this ecosystem phosphorus cycle, the first is that it is a major constituent of biological membranes, cellular energy transfer system and nucleic acid. So this phosphorus is a major constituent of biological membranes, nucleic acids and cellular energy transfer systems. So this phosphorus is also needed by many animals. So many animals require this phosphorus content in order to make their shells, bones, teeth strong. So they need it in a very large quantity. So this large element is needed in large quantity by many animals to make shells, bones and teeth. So the major constituent of the phosphorus is biological membranes, nucleic acids, cellular energy transfer system, and this element phosphorus is needed in a large quantity by the animals in order to make their shells, bones and teeth. So the natural reservoir of this element phosphorus is rock. So in the rock it is not present as phosphorus, rather when the rocks are weathered, a minute amount of these phosphates dissolve in the soil solution and they are absorbed by the roots of the plants. So here it is also present in the phosphorus is also present in the rock. So the reservoir of phosphorus is rock, which contains phosphorus not as phosphorus but in the form of phosphates. So the rock weathers and a very minute amount is dissolved in the soil solution and they are absorbed by the roots of the plants. So first, it is a major constituent of biological membranes, nucleic acids and it is a cellular energy transfer system, and it is needed by animals in a large quantity in order to make their shell, teeth and bones, and in the natural reservoir of this phosphorus is the rock, which is present as phosphates. So this phosphorus is present in the form of phosphates in the rock. So the rocks are withered and a very minute amount is dissolved in the soil solution and they are absorbed by the roots of the plants. When we discuss about the herbivores and other animals, they obtain this element from the plants. So we have discussed that from the rock it is absorbed by the roots of the plants. Then from the rock there will be a small amount of phosphorus in the roots. So this phosphorus is transmitted to the herbivores or other animals by the plants. So the herbivores and the other animals obtain this element from the plants. The next is the released decomposition of the waste products and dead organisms. So when the waste products and the dead organisms are decomposed by using the phosphate solubilizing bacteria, using the bacteria which is phosphate solubilizing bacteria, which it releases phosphorus. So these waste products and dead organisms are decomposed by the bacteria called as phosphate solubilizing bacteria, which releases phosphorus. So when we take unlike carbon cycle, when we take there is no respiratory release of phosphorus. So we already discussed that in the carbon cycle it is released back, it or returns back to the atmosphere. A considerable amount of carbon is returned back to the atmosphere in the form of CO2 by the respiratory process of producers and consumers. But when we take the phosphorus cycle, there is no respiratory release. So there is no respiratory release in the phosphate cycle. So in the phosphate cycle, what all are the main things? That is the major constituent, that is the biological membranes, nucleic acids, cellular energy transfer system. The animal need large quantities. The natural reservoir is rock, which is present in the form of phosphates. So it is given out to the roots of the plants. That is because it is dissolved in the soil solution, so that from the plants they are transmitted to the herbivores and other animals, and the release of this waste products and dead organisms are decomposed by the phosphate solubilizing bacteria, which releasing phosphorus. So this decomposition of this waste products and dead organisms by using this bacteria releases phosphorus, and there is no respiratory release of phosphorus into the atmosphere. So by the process of respiration, the phosphorus is not released into the atmosphere. So the two major differences between the carbon cycle and the phosphorus cycle is that when we take the inputs, that is when we discuss about the atmospheric inputs through the rainfall, when we check the phosphorus cycle and carbon cycle, the phosphorus cycle is much smaller than the carbon inputs. So the inputs given by the phosphorus is much smaller than the carbon. And when we take the gaseous exchanges of phosphorus between the organism and environment, here it is negligible. So the exchange of gases in the phosphorus between organism and environment are negligible. So now we are going to see the simplified diagram of phosphorus cycle in a terrestrial ecosystem. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the simplified model of phosphorus cycling in a terrestrial ecosystem. That is, here the rock minerals, then the weathering process we already know, a small amount in the rock. It consists of phosphates, that is phosphorus is in the form of phosphates, and it is by the process of weathering it dissolves small in a soil solution, and here is the uptake and runoff. Then here the producers, here then the consumer. So the transmission of the phosphorus is shown here. So it is transmitted from the soil solution to the consumers, decomposed in detritus, the litter fall, then the uptake and runoff. So all these are shown in this diagram. So next we are going to deal with the ecosystem services. So when we check with the ecosystem services, what is a healthy ecosystem is nothing but it is a base for a wide range of economic, environmental and aesthetic goods and services. So it is a base of the wide range. So this healthy ecosystem is a base for the wide range of economic, environmental and aesthetic goods and services. So the ecosystem products, so the products of the ecosystem processes, so the things are called as ecosystem services. So the products of ecosystem processes are called as ecosystem services. So now when we discuss about this healthy ecosystem, the healthy forest ecosystem purifies air and water, then they mitigate droughts and floods, cycle nutrients, they generate fertile soil, provide wildlife habitat, cycle nutrients, so they pollinate crops, they maintain the biodiversity. So these all things which we have discussed in the earlier topics, that is in the previous videos, that in this lesson of ecosystem we can know that these provide aesthetic and cultural and spiritual values, but still then the services of these biodiversity which gives us or which is given to us by this nature is difficult to determine. That is, it is reasonable to think that biodiversity should carry a hefty price tag. So if we give a price tag for all the activities, for all the benefits which are given to us by this biodiversity, by this ecosystem, by this global ecosystem, we have to pay out a hefty price tag for this biodiversity. So here Robert Constanza and his colleagues, they have made an attempt, that is they have recently tried to put the price tags which the natural life support services, tax on the natural life support services. So they have made out to put the price tags. They have tried recently, and the researchers have put an average price tag. So the average price tag which they have given is US dollars of 33 trillion a year. So $33 trillion a year. That is on the functional ecosystem services. It has been given on these functional ecosystem services. It has been given as US dollars of 33 trillion a year, a particular year alone. But actually we are taking it for granted because they are actually free for us, because by ecosystem or a biodiversity or our environment does not ask us to pay. So we are taking it granted because it is not given for payment, rather it is given as free. But this is nearly actually the twice the global gross national product. So that is when we compare the gross national product, it is twice, which is of US dollars of 18 trillion. That is, it is twice to our, this 33 trillion is twice to our global GNP. So when we take the out of cost, when we take out the total cost of the various ecosystem services, so there are various ecosystem services and on the whole it comes as $33 trillion, but out of the total cost 50% takes by the soil formation. So the soil formation alone takes the 50%. This recreation, nutrient cycling, that is the contributions and other services like recreation and the nutrient cycling. So nutrient cycling in sense carbon, phosphorus, so these cycling takes less than 10%, whereas the climatic regulation, the habitat of wildlife take 6% each. That is, climatic regulation takes 6% and the habitat for wildlife takes 6%. But the maximum is taken by us, that is a half of the total percentage is taken by the formation of the soil. So this is for the ecosystem lesson, and with this we are winding up this lesson. Thank you.